not waiting for your right pitch. When you're just wanting to be a part of the game, you're just going to trade and overtrade. Wait for your pitch. I know it's hard to do, but try to start practicing that. Some of you guys, if you've been following me with the zero DT trade, you know I've been saying that a lot. And some of you are starting to get that rhythm. Okay, yeah, the market is up a lot today. Or yeah, the market is down a lot today. O'Brien's going to most likely come into the trade very fast. I'm going to put on something early in that trading day within the first 10 minutes of the market open because I'm betting that the premium is going to come out of those options fast. And so the super majority of the time, you guys, I'm in and out of these trades within 2 hours. A lot of times within the first hour of putting it on. It's because of that fact. Wait for your pitch. I want to discuss waiting for your pitch when trading. Now, I'm using a baseball analogy because a number of us have played some form of baseball before. We all kind of are aware of it. It's a term in baseball that you don't swing for every pitch. You wait for your pitch. And so sometimes people are curveball hitters, so they wait for that curveball. Sometimes people are fastball hitters, so they're waiting for that pitcher to send them that fastball. That's their pitch, right? That's their kind of, you know, ideal pitch that they hit the best. Doesn't mean they can't hit other type of pitches, but they hit the fastball the best, for example. So if they only wait for the fastball, they swing at that time, they'll have better performance because that's the pitch they hit the best. Maybe they hit home runs more with a fastball, or maybe they just get on base more with the fastball. That's what good hitters look for their pitch. And trading, kind of using that analogy, if you wait for your pitch and not be so gun-ho and have to swing on every pitch or have to play every market move, then you can increase your probabilities significantly. I've been talking about this for a while now with the zero DT trade and with bread and butter. Is that you have to have an understanding of what gives you better odds than what the deltas are saying. What scenarios you win most on, and wait for those scenarios. Doesn't mean you can't play on other scenarios, but that's when you should play smaller sizes. When you have less clarity, you have less understanding of what's going on, you either sit on the sideline or you play a smaller lot of options if you're trading options, or you buy a smaller amount of shares if you're playing shares. Before we continue with the video, I just want to quickly point out, if you need any additional help, please consider joining our trading club. You can do that by clicking on the link in the description area, and you'll get a 3-month trial for a flat fee of $60. We look forward to seeing you in the trading club. Back to the video. When I am doing the zero DT trade, for example, when the market opens, right? This is the beautiful thing. When the market is up a lot and it's already been up a lot that week or the previous day, I know it's going to be a limit to how much it's going to go up that day. Or at least the odds are it's going to be a limit. So let's just say the market is up 50 points. Well, the odds on it going up 100 is small for the double that amount. But the odds on it going up 120 is even smaller. So what if you can get, it's up 50 points. What if you can get 70 points away from where it's currently trading? That increases your odds significantly. That's a good pitch. That's when you go in at the very least normal size, but ideally a larger size that you normally trade, because you have better odds, in my opinion, of what the delta is saying. And same to the downside. Let's just say the market is down 100 points when you opens up, like it did on Tuesday of this week. Market's down 100 points. What's the odds on it dropping another 100 points? Or what's the odds on it dropping 150 points? Very small. Can it do it? Yeah, but the odds are very, very small. So you play those. Is that the market was down so much, it's the odds on it doubling or going down more than that is small. So you have to wait for your pitch. And that's waiting for my pitch, is waiting for the market to be overdone to the upside or overdone to the downside. And it happens a lot with zero DT trades. The market starts off that way a lot. And if you wait for your pitch, and you're going to win so much or so often that you're going to feel like you're kind of taking monies away from a baby sometimes. Is it going to always be that way? No, but the super majority of the time, if you wait for your pitch, you're going to win. Now, with the bread and butter trades, if you wait for the market to be down 0.5% or more, you're going to increase your odds significantly of winning and not having to adjust that trade. It only happens about 5 times on average a month. The market is down 0.5% or more. If you wait for that 0.5% or more, you might have to, sit on your hands a lot. But that's fine, because you're going to have better odds because volatility spikes up more when the market drops. Or if the market is up a ton and you decide at that point that you're going to put your call side on, that's going to give you better odds. Let's say we're hitting all-time highs and we're up big that day, and you decide, okay, I'm going to sell a call spread at a 4 or 3 delta. You can literally do that and still get some good pricing, but that's giving you better odds. On that put side, when the market is down a 0.5% or more, a lot of times you're going to be able to get 20+% away, a bear market or more away, if you wait for your pitch. And that's from where the price is at. So don't make this game harder than what it has to be. Wait for your right pitch. Don't try to trade everything. Don't have this urge that I have to put stuff on. And I know as beginner traders and even experienced traders, we have that urge, but you can beat that out of yourself. I can't think of a better way to say it. You can eliminate that type of feeling if you work on it. Earlier this week, I remember we got out of a trade really fast, and the question was, do you ever go back in on a 0DT trade if you get out so fast? My answer was no, but I did in the past. But that's kind of just chasing excitement. I've already made the dollar amount I wanted to do, right? When we put on these trades, we know how much we want to make when we put it on. We know our risk level. We know all the factors that you should know when you put it on a trade. Well, we met the target, the price target. I don't need to come back in to chase that excitement. But that's what happens when you are not waiting for your right pitch, when you're just wanting to be a part of the game. You're just going to trade and overtrade. Wait for your pitch. I know it's hard to do, but try to start practicing that. Some of you guys, if you've been following me with the 0DT trade, you know I've been saying that a lot. And some of you are starting to get that rhythm. Okay, yeah, the market is up a lot today. Or yeah, the market is down a lot today. O'Brien's going to most likely come into the trade very fast. I'm going to put on something early in that trading day, within the first 10 minutes of the market open, because I'm betting that the premium is going to come out of those options fast. And so the super majority of the time, you guys, I'm in and out of these trades within 2 hours of putting it on. A lot of times within the first hour of putting it on. It's because of that fact. Wait for your pitch.